Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today's content is going to be rather magical. I'm going to be filling you guys in on the latest and greatest developments in the rapidly evolving electric bike / light electric motorcycle space. This market is currently in its infancy, and in a couple of years from now, I think it's going to look drastically different. And I'm going to be talking about three new bikes that are coming out, and they represent completely different ends of the e-bike spectrum. And I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on what style of bike or direction for the e-bike market you prefer. So let's get right into this. Let's begin with the news that Honda, they are making e-bikes. And not just one, they actually just announced 3 models. The Cub E, the Dax E, and ready for this, the Zoomer E. And these bikes, as you can probably tell, represent the more traditional path for the e-bike market. So essentially taking existing gas bikes and just converting them to electric and calling it a day. Not saying that's bad or anything. The bikes, in my opinion, do look super fresh. And the reason why Honda announced these bikes is because they have a long-term goal of being net zero carbon emission by like 2030, 2050, something like that. So eventually they are going to be converting all of their products to electric. And this is just the beginning of that. I do have to give you the caveat right off the bat. Let's do some off-roading. That, my battery's running a little bit low. That these bikes, as of right now, are only for sale in China. So they're not coming to the US market as of right now in this form. But if I had to guess, because of this commitment Honda has, eventually either a version of these bikes or something else entirely will hit the US market. So I think it's still relative to talk about. Now, even though these bikes have the same aesthetic as their older gas brethren, they actually have pedals on them. If you take a closer look, all 3 of these models have pedals. I think the Dax actually has pegs and pedals, which I found to be hilarious. So they are classified as e-bikes. That's the approach Honda took with this. Take notes for potential US products in the future. But because they're e-bikes being sold on the Chinese market, they had to follow Chinese e-bike regulations, which are a bit more strict than in the US. So for example, the maximum speed allowed is 25 kilometers per hour. That's about 15.5 miles per hour. So these are definitely not speed demons by any stretch of the imagination. And I guess China just hates e-bikes because they also limit the battery voltage to a maximum of 48. So if these bikes ever come to the United States, we have to assume they're going to adjust it to American e-bike laws, which are more free in nature. But the best part about these bikes that I haven't told you guys yet is the price tag. These are the Chinese prices. So if they come to the US, it's probably gonna be more expensive. But in China, these bikes are about $880. That is, that's good. I like that. Considering they look like nice, light electric motorcycles, scooters, whatever you want to classify them as, and they're less than $1,000 and electric, I'm a fan. If these came to the US, I think the one I would pick up, especially if they're so cheap, I'll definitely pick up the Dax E. That's the one that just aesthetically appeals to me the most. But of course, let me know your favorite in the comments below. Okay, but moving on. As mentioned, these e-bikes from Honda are representing one side of the e-bike market, one direction in which the e-bike market could eventually go into. These next 2 bikes represent another direction the e-bike market could potentially take, and that's viewing an e-bike as another tech gadget, like your phone, a computer. So this bike right here is actually by a computer company, Acer. I'm sure you guys are familiar. They make computers, monitors, various peripheral devices. And the point of this bike is a high-tech kind of city commuter. It's extremely lightweight. I think the advertised figure was 35 pounds. So of course it's not going to have the most power, the most range, but it's made as a convenient urban commuter. Get around the city, easily bring it up and down stairs in an apartment complex. And of course, it has a bunch of integrated technology features. The headline one is AI. Yes, this bike has integrated AI. The point of it is to learn how you ride and optimize the bike to be as efficient as possible. Okay, cool concept, I like it. It does that via the transmission, right? The gears, it changes automatically. Okay, cool, I like the idea. We're gonna have to see how it is in practice once it eventually comes out. The bike also has other tech features like a phone app, so you can completely see where the bike is. You can track it because it has GPS tracking built in as well. So you can see where the bike is, you can lock it, you can change the settings, all via your phone. Very convenient. And here's another similar bike taking a tech-heavy approach, although slightly different. So the company here is Acer. I think it's a Chinese company, and the bike itself, the project, is currently on Indiegogo. Again, the design is very sleek, futuristic, designed from day one to be electric. It's not just a gas bike that they converted to electric. And aside from just form, there's actually a function built into this design. So this bike is actually full suspension, and the rear linkage, pivot point, whatever you want to call it, is integrated inside of the frame, that vertical kind of down tube section. The benefit of that is you don't have to clean it, it doesn't get dirty, doesn't get damaged, you don't have to do much adjusting, and that, along with other design components, the hub motor, help this more city commuter to be extremely low maintenance. Just like with the Acer bike, this has built-in GPS tracking, a phone app, all of those techie features built in. And potentially most importantly, this packs a lot more power than the Acer bike. This has an advertised peak wattage of 2,500 watts. That's not bad. The battery is only 48 volts, so it's not a high voltage system. And it comes in two capacities, 20 amp hours or 40 amp hours. So this bike is both much larger and more capable than the Acer bike, even though it follows a same vision for e-bikes of being kind of their own thing, very tech heavy. And I didn't see a price tag for this, but if I find it in my research after filming this, I'll put it on screen right now. Yeah, so those are some of the latest developments and products coming to the e-bike market very soon. But as mentioned, I think the macro thing going on here is that tug of war between what the future of e-bikes even is. Is it going to be Honda's vision of just traditional gas motorcycles that are converted to electric? Or are they going to be just another gadget in your life? Kind of like what Tesla's doing. That are less of a car and more of a smartphone on wheels. So definitely chime in the comments and let us know what direction you would like to see the e-bike market take. If you guys are still watching and enjoyed, you know I always appreciate a like, subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.